Hi kids, this is Mrs. Novak. Just want to say welcome to the first lesson in probability. So we're going to learn about taking chances, having odds, all kinds of fun stuff in this chapter. So hopefully you'll like some of these Edpuzzles and we'll go from there. All right, so the first thing we're going to start off with is sample space. Probability is described as how likely something is to happen. But you don't know how likely something is to happen if you don't know what your sample space is, like how many choices there are. So in determining how likely something is to happen, we must first determine the total number of things that could happen for any given event or experiment. So it's called the list of all possible outcomes is called the sample space. For example, if you roll a die, what are the numbers on it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that sample space would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there's another thing. Is it uniform or not uniform? So when something's uniform, that's where it has the same chance. There's only 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and etc. So now I'm going to give you some examples to try along with me during this PowerPoint. So let's try the first one. You're given a bag of marbles. What is the sample space? What are my colors that I need to look at? So if you look at that, you see green, yellow, red, and blue. So is this uniform or not uniform? This is not uniform because there's 4 green, 1 yellow, 3 red, and 2 blue. Here's another example. Let's try flipping a coin. What is my sample space? Heads and tails. Is it uniform? And the answer is yes, it is uniform. My next one is spinning a spinner. What is my sample space? My sample space is red, yellow, green, and blue. Is this uniform? And this one is uniform. They're all equally likely to happen. So my next one, I'm going to get out of this mode because I have this little magnifying glass that I'm going to do with you, and I get to move it around, which is fun. So here I have 3 choices of ice cream. What are my sample spaces? Chocolate, vanilla, and yellow, and strawberry. Is this uniform? So I'm going to put my magic thing over there. So there's my sample space, and yes, it's uniform. Now let's go to the next one. Boy or girl? What are the chances of having a boy or a girl? Well, and is it uniform or not? Let's take this over, and my sample space is boy or girl, and it is uniform. Now, let's go to my bag of marbles. What is my sample space? And is it uniform? Looking over, my sample space is blue and red, and it is not uniform. Now, let's go to my spinner. What is my sample space? Give you a second to think of that. And then, is it uniform? Coming over, my sample space is blue, green, red, and yellow, and it is not uniform. So hopefully that clears up some things about what sample spaces are. So now we're going to continue. And if you like it in a PowerPoint, it'll look like this. And the PowerPoint is attached, and you can look at that. Now we have a deck of cards. I listed the deck of cards because I know sometimes in probability that a lot of people don't understand a deck of cards. So I wanted you to see that this is spades, this is clubs, this is diamonds, and this is hearts. There's 4 of each number, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 jacks, queens, kings. Jacks, queens, kings are known as face cards. An ace can be a 1 or an 11. There's 26 black, 26 red. There's 13 of spades, 13 clubs, 13 diamonds, and 13 hearts. Just wanted you to have this information for problems later down so you know what a deck of cards sample space looks like. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is, how many choices are there if you roll 2 dice? Now think of this. If you roll 2 dice, how many choices are on the first die? And then you have to match them up with how many choices on the second die. And if you do that, this is a list of all the possible choices of rolling 2 die. Now in the PowerPoint, if you still need help, In this yellow space right here, there is a virtual nerd, and you can go in there and watch that. So I'm now going to give you some Edpuzzles to try so you can see if you understand sample space.